Hey there. You're avoiding a conversation at work right now, and it's costing you more than you think. Maybe it's with a coworker who keeps missing deadlines. Maybe it's with one of your direct reports who keeps missing deadlines, or your boss who micromanages everything you do. Every day you don't address it, the tension builds, the project stalls, and the stress compounds. And your coffee consumption? Record-breaking. And that conversation you're rehearsing in your head, have you noticed it always ends in disaster? You either freak out dramatically or win the award for most passive-aggressive performance in a supporting role. Today, I'm giving you a 3-step framework that transforms workplace conflict from something you dread into your secret weapon for building stronger teams. No fluff, no corporate speak, just psychology-backed tactics that I've used with leaders at every level. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to say in that conversation you've been avoiding. So let's go. Here's what nobody tells you about conflict. Most of us were never taught how to handle it well, and we have some very evolutionary reasons for wanting to avoid it. We saw our parents either blow up or shut down. At school, we learned to avoid the mean kids. And at work, we're told to be professional, stay positive, which usually just means smile, suppress, and develop an eye twitch. So when conflict or difference shows up, we either explode, ghost the person, or let it fester until we're job hunting on LinkedIn at 2 a.m. I want to tell you, there's a better way. Conflict research shows that nearly half of all workplace tension, 49%, boils down to personality clashes and egos. And here's the kicker. Most of it is avoidable if we know how to navigate it. It's a skill that we can learn. Today, I'm walking you through a framework from conflict expert Diane Musho-Hamilton. She's mediated everything from corporate teams to international diplomats. Her approach lines up beautifully with something I teach called the full circle leadership practice. This isn't about being nice or avoiding hard truths. It's about being clear, direct, and collaborative. So conflict becomes a tool for growth, not a reason to just update your resume. Let's get into the 3-step framework. Here are the 3 steps. Step 1, clarify and understand. Get clear about what's really happening. Step 2, establish common goals. Get real and get it out by finding a shared purpose. And then step 3, agree and follow up. This is getting vital and getting better by creating accountability. Let's break down each one. First, step 1, clarify and understand. Here's where 90% of conflicts go sideways. We skip this step entirely. We assume we know what the other person is thinking, why they did what they did, and what their intentions were. Spoiler alert, we're usually wrong. When conflict arises, it's uncomfortable, and our mind drives hard to the hoop to try to make sense of it and explain it to ourselves. It doesn't do well with uncertainty, and voila, it makes up a story. Step 1 is about separating your facts from the story. Focus on what they did, on what the video camera would or could record, not who you think they are or why they did what they did. This is really important. We can't trust our thinking when we're upset about something someone did. More on that in my next video on working with feelings and emotions, but for now, just know that. Don't always trust your story. Ask real questions instead. Not the kind that sound like cross-examination on a courtroom drama, not, do you even care about this project? But help me understand what's happening on your end. Ask with genuine curiosity. And here's the magic moment. Then you listen. Not to respond, not to defend, just listen. Do you know what the hardest part is about listening for almost all of us? We assume that listening means that we must automatically agree with what's being said. It doesn't. It simply means we're listening to what is being said, period. We're listening to gain a perspective. And when you do, something shifts magically. The other person feels heard instead of attacked. Their defensiveness drops. Interestingly enough, so does yours. Suddenly, you're not adversaries. You're two slightly exhausted humans just trying to solve a problem together. This is what I call getting clear in the full circle leadership practice. Clearing away assumptions, judgments, and stories so you can actually see what's true. That brings us to step 2, establishing common goals. Now that you've both cooled off and found your adult voices, it's time to find common ground. And this is where most leaders skip ahead. They jump straight to solutions before confirming that both people even want the same thing. Again, clarifying where you're both on the same page is key. Step 2 is about naming the shared goal out loud. It sounds simple, and it is, It's also very powerful. You might say something like, I think we both want to deliver great work without burning out. Does that sound right? Or, we both want this project to succeed and our team to feel supported. Agreed? When you do this, you're reframing the whole story. You're no longer two gladiators fighting over who's right or whose story makes the most sense. Your partner's trying to make sure the project doesn't self-destruct like a bad group chat thread. This is getting real and getting it out from the full circle leadership practice. Being honest about what you both want and putting it on the table where it can breathe. Once that shared goal is clear, brainstorming solutions becomes so much easier because now you're both motivated to find something that actually works, not just the something that wins the argument. That brings us to step 3, agree and follow up. This is the step that separates good intentions from actual change. You've clarified the problem, you've found common ground, now you need to agree on specific actions and follow up to make sure that they stick. First, you agree on concrete next steps. None of that, I'll try to communicate better, because try just equals won't. Say, I'll send you a project update every Monday at 10 a.m. Whatever the specific action is. Remember, video camera test. Second, confirm it in writing. A quick email or Slack message does wonders. Not because you need a paper trail, though maybe you might be nice, but because clarity equals accountability. Third, schedule a follow-up. A 10 to 15 minute check-in a week later. How's this working? What do we need to adjust? Do we feel like we're still on the same page? This is getting vital and getting better. You're making the agreement vital by following through and better by learning and adjusting as you go. And let's face it, most workplace conflicts aren't solved in one heroic conversation. They're solved through small, consistent actions that rebuild trust faster than any other mandatory team building event. When you follow up, you're sending a powerful message. I care about this relationship. I care about making this work. That, my friend, is leadership. All right, well, let's see how this really works in IRL. Let's see what this really looks like. Let's pretend for the sake of our conversation, you're Alex and your teammate's Chad. Your big project is going off the rails. Deadlines are missed, communication spotty, stress level, espresso machine. Instead of venting to your boss or your dog, you use the 3 steps. Step 1, clarify and understand. You say, hey, Chad, I noticed the last couple deadlines slipped and that pushes me back on my stuff. I'm worried we're going to miss the final launch date. Can you help me understand what's happening on your side? And then you listen. Wild concept, I know. Because you didn't attack him, Chad opens up. Turns out the specs were vague and you're just checking in emails. They were making him feel a bit micromanaged. What you saw as unreliability was actually confusion and frustration. Step 2 then is establish common goals. You pivot. Thanks for explaining that, Chad. That was really helpful and that makes sense. I think we both just want to deliver great work on this project without feeling stressed out. Does that sound right? He agrees. You've reframed the whole dynamic. Now you're partners, not opponents. Together, you brainstorm solutions that make both of your lives easier. And that takes us right to step 3, agree and follow up. You decide before each big phase, you'll schedule a 30-minute planning meeting. And instead of random emails, Chad sets a daily 15-minute check-in at 4 p.m. and shoots you a quick message to let you know where things are at. You confirm it in an email, short, clear, no corporate jargon like per conversation, and you set a 10-minute follow-up for next Friday. A week later, the tension's gone. Chad's hitting deadlines, you're clear where things are at, you're also breathing again, and nobody had to attend a conflict resolution seminar. Your working relationship isn't just repaired, it's stronger than before. That's the power of handling conflict with clarity, collaboration, and accountability. Conflict at work is one of the hardest parts of leadership, but it's also one of the richest opportunities for growth. And it's normal to want to avoid it, just remember that. But if you can stay, listen, and lead, conflict becomes the place where something new can emerge. It's where new energy lives. That's what the full circle leadership practice is all about. Not perfection, not pretending tension doesn't exist, but getting clear, getting real, getting it out, getting vital, and always getting better. So the next time you feel that knot in your stomach before a tough conversation, don't panic. You've got a map. Step 1, clarify and understand. Get clear. Step 2, find common goals. Get real and get it out. Step 3, agree and follow up. Get vital and get better. Handled this way, conflict doesn't drain you, it develops you. It turns breakdowns into breakthroughs. So what's the one conversation you've been avoiding? Because once you have this framework, that conversation becomes your next breakthrough. If you want more strategies like this, the kind that help you thrive in the 9 to 5 and beyond, hit that subscribe button. I drop a new video every week with psychology-backed leadership tactics you can use immediately. And hey, wouldn't it be nice to walk into your next tough conversation without needing a stiff drink afterwards? That's what happens when you lead with full circle leadership. Happy thriving!